Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdouts Newsstand, and today we are going to talk about something we haven't in quite a while. We're going to talk about the Zack Snyder fandom, the Justice League Snyder Cut, and all that it ensues, but mostly the fact that some grifters have been caught, and it's really a shame to not just Snyder fans, but DC fans as a whole. Now, if you don't know, I am not a huge Zack Snyder fan. I don't like the fact that he made the universe so dark and so gritty. He took away pretty much all hope that the characters were supposed to embody, and he made them killers. Not my favorite thing. Not a huge fan of it. Now, that doesn't matter in this sense of what we're going to talk about, because we are actually going to talk about the motion comic that a few people were working on, specifically a brand of a few YouTubers or a few friends that went by the name of Lightcast Pod, and I believe Cultured Nerd was in there also. Now, when it comes to this, it was going to be this amazing motion comic that, since the SnyderVerse is dead, it was going to continue on. It was going to be everything that Zack Snyder had wrote for Justice League 2 and continue his vision in a motion comic. I love motion comics. There's a lot of great fan-made ones out there. Really, people put their heart and soul and voice acting and abilities into it. Now, most motion comics that I've seen aren't made from the ground up, right? There is ones that are done by DC, like Watchmen. There are ones done by Marvel. But the fan-made ones usually take the art, say they want to do No Man's Land. They take that comic book and they make it motionized, or they move stuff around, or they add sound effects and voice acting. That's usually how fan-made ones are done. But Lightcast Pod was going to do something completely different. They were going to make all original art because this story's never been told before. 100% original art, right? And that's where we're going to start this story, because we need to read what goes into original art and what is actually being said. So we're going to take a look at what Lightcast said. Lightcast said, we've seen a few comments about the motion comic art. Some of our art is inspired by the drawings of Jim Lee, Jason Fabok, and Ivan Reyes. Most of the drawings you'll see on this project are 100% newly created original art. And I'm excited, and we're excited for you to see more, right? You've only seen 1%. This is going to be great. It's all brand new art. You're so excited, right? This is going to be really awesome. It's going to go to charity. That's kind of what the Snyder fandom uses all the time to be terrible to people. It's going to go to charity. Okay. All right. Except for it's not. And it's all, everything that's been put out there was 100% taken from those artists, traced, and then called original art. This is really going against anything that Zack Snyder and his fandom originally stood for. They wanted this artistic integrity as to where Zack got to see his creation made into life. Zack didn't go and take stuff from other people. He may have been inspired by stuff like The Dark Knight Rises, but he never took it verbatim. But they did. And you want to know the irony of it? You know what's so ironic about it? These people that say Jeff Johns is this terrible person without proof, without anything but, terrible accusations from Ray Fisher, because he's so reliable, right? Okay. They actually took every single one of these from a Jeff Johns comic, except for the one you're looking at right now. This is Robert Venditti. But even so, they stole, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. They stole artwork from Jeff Johns projects he was good enough to steal from, but they want to bash him on the side. You cannot make this shit up. This is real life. So we're going to go through a couple of these pictures. And I do think it is fair to say right here that had Lightcast come out and say, no, we're making this because we're fans. We're not necessarily the best artists. We're not necessarily this. We're going to have to take inspiration or trace or do this. It's not all going to be 100% original art. Had that been the case, this wouldn't be an issue. This wouldn't be an issue at all. Because if that were the case and they were being honest about it, it is a fan-made project and nobody, not a single person, expects you to be perfect. Not a single person on a fan-made project expects everything to be original and brand new ideas. Not a single person. So had they come out and just said, instead of the statement I showed you, most of it is original art, but we are also taking and drawing from this person or this person, and they will be credited in the credits. Had they said that, this would not be a conversation we're having today. But they again said 100% original art. So let's take a look here. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Does it kind of look familiar? It might kind of look familiar, right? Because it's, again, taken from a Robert Venditti one here. See, same exact picture. Kilowog. We've got Jon Stewart here. We've got Hal Jordan. Let me show you one more time. Exact same poses. Okay. All right. Well, especially Jon Stewart. I do think the arm is a little different for it's extended here instead of put forth. So there is a little difference there. They changed the arm. Okay. All right. So we've got, and I noticed what this was exactly right away, except for if you're doing what's very weird to me is if you are doing a Justice League 2, a Justice League motion comic that kind of, is supposed to pick up where Justice League let off, you would want Gal Gadot's likeness. You would want not Jim Lee's likeness. Like I recognize this picture within seconds. I knew what it was. Because it's an iconic picture. The only real difference I see here is maybe they gave her a unibrow because they're not, so set on shading and made her quite a bit more masculine. But again, if you were doing Justice League 2, you would have to use the likeness of the characters in the original. So I do find that rather weird. But we've also got Superman here. Again, looks nothing like Henry Cavill. Okay, if we're not going for that, then don't call it a continuation of Zack Snyder's story, because that's where it's supposed to be. Again, right here. The exact same photo. So, and this isn't it. There is a bunch that kind of compare and contrast what is going on here. And I'll show you a little bit more. They put them right next to each other so you can see it. And there's actually another one. It's beautiful, beautiful. It's also not your drawing. It's also Jim Lee. It's also not your drawing. And there's actually a little video. I'll find it and I'll put it in. But that really shows just exactly how much they've stolen. So this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous that we've got to a point where people are actually excusing this. And like I said, it would have been an easy fix, right? It's an easy fix. You say, no, this is fan-made. Fan-made is way harder than backed by a corporation. Nearly impossible at times. So we're going to have to do this. And we apologize, but we will credit the artist. It was that simple. But because these Lightcast people have been kind of showing their own in this sense, and there are real great people out there that I've seen call this out that are Snyder fans. And I absolutely respect that. Absolutely. But if you want to talk about artist integrity and being able to finish a vision, but you steal somebody else's, do you have integrity? Like, honestly, do you? No. Like, there's no way you do. Yes, this is not all Snyder fans. Making sure that's clear. Some people have been good enough to call it out, but there are plenty out there that are like, well, it's okay. Who cares? They don't get credit. It's okay. Fuck Jim Lee. Okay, all right. Well, whatever you say. Just always remember, the irony is they're stealing from Jeff Johns. I love it. Let me know, of course, what you guys think about this. Whether you think, I'm wrong and maybe it's okay to steal from artists. I don't know. I don't know how you'll excuse this one, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of excuses in the comments below. Let me know, of course, what you guys think about this. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
I'm more than just a picture. I'm a daughter and a sister.